That was ugly. Totally ugly. It's always harder to do this after a loss, especially a loss this bad. And that's almost on the regular, but here we are. Cowboys lose a blowout at home and fall to 2-4 against Arizona, and it wasn't even close. They turned the ball over, couldn't stop the offense, and couldn't do anything themselves on offense. So as always, I'm going to highlight who did a little something and who did nothing to help. Before I get to it, if you happen to like this video and want to see more like it, hit that like and sub button. Now, let's get to it. Very early in the game, the defense seemed to have found a rhythm and played with discipline and containment, and Vander Esch was right in the middle of it. He played downhill, he took on blocks, and to be honest, looked like the only person who cared on defense. This team needs a complete purge on that side of the ball, and needs to look at who needs to be here, and I mean that right now. But Vander Esch is certainly a building block, and tonight, he manned up. Last week, Tony Dungy said Zeke getting more carries would benefit the Cowboys offense. Well, now look at you. But back to Zeke. My bad. A few weeks ago, I said Zeke was one of the better players on the team. I was wrong. Your best players, your team leaders, they don't do that. They don't turn bad to worse. To say he's putting too much on himself is giving him an easy excuse. But fine. I'm not asking him to carry the load. I'm not asking him to carry the team. I'm just asking him to not be careless with the ball. And for 90 mil, that's the least I can ask for. Running backs don't matter. Derrick Henry is better. Whatever argument you want to have, go ahead. Ezekiel Elliott, you brought it on yourself, and you man down. I've been critical of him before, but Pollard played with speed, elusiveness, and was tough. For the game that Zeke gave us, you can now expect to see more of Tony Pollard. Right now he looks more natural in catching passes. And I'm not saying make him the new feature back, but if he can pick up blocks like this, then you can trust him on all 3 downs. It was a terrible night for the offense, but in what little he could show, Tony Pollard manned up. Go ahead and roast them. They deserve it. Actually, roast me too. Earlier I was talking about the defense's leadership, and I thought for a second that Lawrence was a viable leader. But I was wrong. Leadership is holding others accountable, and yourself. Right now, who's holding these guys accountable for the most simplest things, like setting the edge and not losing containment? Who's out there telling Jalen Smith to have better eye discipline? Nobody. And you know why? Because 6 weeks in, and it's the same story. These problems are here to stay. Dontari Poe's a waste. Jalen Smith can't get in the right spot with any regularity. The last time a Cowboys defense was this bad, with this kind of effort, somebody got fired. It won't be Mike McCarthy, but Mike Nolan. I suggest you walk around the office really quiet, not make any eye contact all week, and look real busy whenever Jerry and Steven walk by. But let's chill with all this hot boy stuff, because that group, again, man down. Aside from Pollard, Cooper and Lamb were the only skill guys that were trying to play. Lamb is the real deal, and the future with him is set at wide receiver. He makes plays after the catch, he understands soft spots and zones, and goes full speed no matter what the score is. And Cooper is still an important piece. He has plenty of separation, he has good speed, and whether you want to believe it or not, the player teams have to game plan for. What Dallas has to do is to keep hitting him on digs and slants, and let him use his speed after the catch. It's a wasted effort for both of them, but Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb manned up. Daryl Worley is here for 2 reasons on this list. First, his play here is absolute ass. It looks like deep thirds. and he decided to stutter step for whatever reason, and then gets cooked. Mind you, before that, Arizona made it known they're going to take shots deep. This is the veteran that was supposed to get us by, the one that could play corner and safety that we thought was supposed to secure that spot, or both spots actually. The other reason why I put him on this list is because Daryl Worley is a living, breathing arrogance of Jerry and Stephen Jones and their penny pinching and tossing band-aids at open wounds. They passed on Byron Jones when they definitely had the money to pay for him. But then, think about every corner they've cut to ignore obvious issues. Cedric Thornton, trash. Nolan Carroll, trash. The approach of identifying an issue in free agency and then ignoring it until it pretty much sinks the season is why Daryl Worley's here in Dallas blowing coverages. So Worley, Jones and Son, you man down. So where else do we go? Unfortunately, we keep going ahead. They're still in first place technically, and I'm starting to hate even giving them that compliment. This game was hard to sit through, but I got a feeling it could be a lot worse. Dalton and the line showed a lot of cracks, and this thing hasn't burst just yet, I don't think. Next week they go on the road to Washington in a winnable game and hopefully get some momentum to make the best out of a bad situation. But we're still here, and I'm glad you guys are too. Thank all of you for watching. As always, Cowboys up. Peace.